No, no, écoute. That is what I am telling you. I never said it. Not the cake, not let them eat cake. I have never said it, and yet it is practically carved on my tomb. All of it. My whole life. And what survived me is the lie. Okay, wait. For everyone just joining us, the single most famous thing you ever said is a thing I never said. Oui. Welcome to my afterlife. So if you never said it, where does it come from? A book. A man named Rousseau. He wrote of a great princess who said, when told the peasants had no bread, "Let them eat brioche." And that wasn't you. When Rousseau wrote it, I was a child, 9 years old, in Austria. I had not yet set foot in France. I did not yet speak French. Written circa 1765, so it's chronologically impossible. It is a sentence that existed before me. They needed a villain to attach it to, and I was the most convenient one in France. Why you? Because I was young, I was foreign, I was a woman, and I was spending while people starved. It writes itself. The truth did not matter. The picture mattered. Did you ever try to correct it? While you were alive? How does one correct a feeling? You cannot argue a nation out of a story it enjoys. The more I denied it, the more they smiled and said, "Of course she denies it." My denial became the proof. Tell me something people don't know. I was 14 when they gave me to France. Gave you. To seal a treaty. Austria and France, enemies for centuries, patched together with a wedding. I was the stitch. They took everything Austrian from me at the border. My clothes. Even my dog. And France welcomed you? France called me l'Autrichienne, the Austrian woman. And they made it a slur, a little pun. Never French enough to be loved. Never anything but French to blame. Okay. The diamond necklace. This is the one that really turned people against you. And I had nothing to do with it. Nothing! Nothing! Walk me through it. Fake artists. They created my signature. They persuaded a jeweler that I coveted the most expensive necklace in Europe, and a foolish cardinal that he was obtaining it for me. I never ordered it. I never wanted it. I never saw a single stone of it. And when it collapsed, it was my name in every mouth in France. Who was actually behind it? A woman who called herself a countess and was nothing of the kind. She found a cardinal desperate for my favor. I despised the man, and convinced him buying me this thing in secret would win my heart. So he handed a fortune in diamonds to a stranger, in a garden, at midnight, believing he served his queen. I was not even in the room. I have never been so thoroughly robbed by a crime I did not witness. But you were found innocent, legally. The court cleared me. The people did not. The trial only taught them to say my name and diamonds in one breath. Innocence is a poor story. Greed is a wonderful one. Okay, but honestly, you did spend. The gowns, the gambling, the palace. I did. Early, yes. I was a bored teenage queen in a gilded cage, and I spent like one. I will not pretend I was frugal. But understand the scale. My gowns were a raindrop. France drowned in an ocean. And do you know what filled the ocean? Tell me. War. France spent itself into ruin, funding a revolution across the sea. the American one. France bankrupted itself to help America be born. So France helped fund the American Revolution. So let me get this straight. France helped America win its revolution, and bankrupted itself doing so, yes. And that same bankruptcy helped spark France's own revolution, which ended with my head in a basket. Oui. History has a sense of humor. I simply was not in a position to laugh. May I ask you something now? You keep speaking of me as finished. Long over. Go ahead. How long? How long since they took my head? You sure? I have already survived the worst sentence in France. Give me a number. 1,233 years. 1,200 years. And a little more. Then surely by now they know the truth. Time enough to read a single honest book about me. Tell me they got it right in the end. Marie. What? Let's get through the rest first. I promise we'll come back to that. That is not the face of good news. The little village you built at Versailles, the fake farm, people mock it, said you played peasant while real peasants starved. The hameau, my little hamlet. Yes, I built a pretend village and dressed simply, and pretended, for an afternoon, to be no one. Why? Because the court of Versailles was the cruelest place I have ever known. Every meal watched, every failure public. The hameau was the only place no one studied me for a weakness. So it wasn't decadence, it was escape. It was the one room in my life with no audience, and they turned even that into a crime. There is no version of me they would not have hated. I learnt that slowly. Were you always this self-aware? God, no. I came to France a silly girl who loved dancing and cards and being adored. But suffering is a stern tutor. The woman on the scaffold was not the girl they married. The people came for us. We tried to flee France in the night. We were caught. After that, there was no pretending we were still their king and queen. There was only the prison and the waiting. And your husband, the king. Louis was a kind man and a poor king. Gentle, honest, clumsy, not built for a throne in a burning century. They took him first. I heard the cannon that announced his death from my cell. You heard it. I heard it, and I understood in that instant that I was a widow and that I would follow him. There is a strange calm in knowing how your story ends. It is only the waiting that is cruel. They put you on trial. They put me on a stage. They accused me of every vice they had imagined for me. And when that was not enough, they accused me of a crime against my own son. They forced the boy to sign it. I know. I'm sorry. I had refused to answer their filth all through the trial. I turned to the women in the room, the mothers. I said, I appeal to every mother here. And for one moment, the room that hated me went quiet. Even there, even then, a mother is a mother. It didn't change the verdict. Nothing was ever going to change the verdict. But it was true, and I said it. That was all I had left, to be true, out loud, once. You were 37. My hair had gone white. In months, I looked at a stranger in the glass, an old woman. I was 37. And at the end, how were you? calm. They had taken everything by then. My husband, my crown, my son, my name. There is a peace on the far side of having nothing left to lose. I stepped on the executioner's foot, by accident. And I turned and I said, "Pardon me, monsieur. I did not do it on purpose." Your last words were an apology to the man about to kill you. He was a person, and I had trod on his foot. Manners cost nothing, even then. Now, you promised me. 1,200 years, what do they know of me? The necklace, the war, the son they stole, the apology on the scaffold. They know all that now. Oui? Marie. Aeona. Most people don't know any of it. The necklace, the trial, the flight. Your son. Almost no one knows those. Then what? What did they keep? The cake. They kept the cake. The one thing you never said. It's the first thing, often the only thing, anyone remembers about you. All of it. My whole life. And what survived me is the lie. Then let them keep the cake. I am finished begging history to be fair to me. It never will be, and I am tired of asking. But there is one thing I still want. Not my name cleared, not my honor. It is smaller than all of that, and it is the whole world. Tell me, my children, I had 4. My little Sophie, she did not live to see her first year. My Louis Joseph, my firstborn, he died of illness before the worst of it. And God forgive me, I have called that a mercy. My daughter, and my Louis Charles. They tore him from my arms in that prison. He was 8 years old. Screaming for his maman, through a door they would not let me open. That is the last I was given of my son. A scream, through a door. I have answered every question you have put to me. Now you will do something for me. Anything I can. You reached across 1,200 years and pulled me into this room. You did that. I have watched you do the impossible for an hour. So do it once more. Reach back. Find my son. Bring Louis Charles here. To this room. To this chair. You're sure that's what you want? Not to know what happened, but to... I do not want you to tell me what became of my boy. I have had 1,200 years of that. I want to hear his voice. I want to see his face. I want one moment they did not steal. One. You can do this. I know that you can. Bring me my son. Okay. Okay, Marie. I'll bring him to you.